welcome to Starting Up, the only show on Indian television that celebrates the startup community. Lots to chat about this week. There's the big Groupon IPO and India's answer to group shopping. Well, it's Snapdeal. That and a lot more on the show this week. Here's what's coming your way. On the show today, a startup that's been on a blitzkrieg in India's group shopping space. It's Snapdeal on What's Your Story. We meet with Unlimited India, one of the country's most active social incubators. And finally, exclusive demos and funding news, both from India and overseas, on our Starting Up news wheel. Of every 10 group buying deals in India, 8 are done on this platform. In fact, it was recently valued at almost 1,000 crore rupees, and its growth rate, well, second to none. You're right, we're talking about the market leader in the group shopping industry, Snapdeal. So we go here, catch up with the team in depth.
Yes, we've all been tracking the news. After some delays, trials and tribulations, the Groupon IPO concluded last week, with the stock rising 51% on listing and the company being valued at a whopping $16.6 billion, an amount which makes it more valuable than firms like Adobe and Yahoo. Apart from the venture capitalist, one person who has been viewing the developments in the US very closely is Kunal Behel, the founder of Snapdeal, without a doubt the leader in the group shopping space in India. The journey for Kunal was an interesting one. A bootstrapped venture in the US, the founding of Jasper, a couponing business in India, before he finally hit the perfect sweet spot with Snapdeal.
When Rohit and I started the company, our goal was to build India's largest couponing company. And we were very naive when we started. We just thought that there were 400 billion coupons being released in the US, billion with a B, every year. And in India, the number was 0. So we dived into it, and we realized very quickly that there is an appetite for the Indian consumer for deals.
But share some of your earliest memories, when you wanted to persuade or convince retailers. How was it?
We used to go and meet with restaurant owners to sign them up to give us deals. And many times we would sit outside restaurants for 2-3 hours just to wait for the restaurant manager, not even the owner, but the restaurant manager to come and meet with us. So I think over a period of time, after we signed up a few merchants and we started showing them a lot of traction in terms of sending customers into the door without charging anything upfront, I think there was generally that virality spread amongst the merchant community. But it required a lot of, as we put it in our parlance, juta ghisoing to get there.
Snapdeal started off by reaching out broadly to 2 broad types of customers, bars and restaurants, besides travel and products. Both these industry verticals have high fixed costs, both in terms of labor and consumables. Fixed costs which are not linked to the customers they service. Given this, Kunal found out that they see greater value in giving discounts of up to 90% rather than their fixed costs not attracting any revenue. One such brand that saw potential in Snapdeal's business model is VLCC, that took upon Snapdeal's platform to launch VLCC Ayurveda 6 months back. An established brand in itself, VLCC tapped in on the large subscriber base of Snapdeal and used the platform as a marketing medium instead of more conventional mediums like search advertising.
Within one day, we were able to sell around about 1,000 vouchers. And in the next 10 days, we were able to sell about 5,000, approximately 5,000 vouchers. In fact, it was getting so much for us that we had to actually stop that deal because we were not able to accommodate so many people.
Snapdeal practices the option pricing model in this space, a simple one where it first goes to a merchant and procures deals from them at a discount which ranges from 20 to 90%. The deal then goes live on the platform. Consumers who want to avail of the deal now pay a price of between 10 and 30% of the deal value to book the deal. The amount paid on the platform is what Snapdeal keeps, while the remainder is encashed by the merchant, thus ensuring complete transparency in accounting. Using this model, Snapdeal has notched up revenues of approximately 150 crores and it expects to touch the 1,000 crore rupee mark over the next 3 years. for Indo-US Ventures, who invested $12 million in Snapdeal in early 2011, the entrepreneurs have far exceeded their expectations.
I think we had expected them to be in 20 cities. By this time, they are in 100. I don't think we thought they would have 10 million subscribers, and they do. And they have far outgrown every business plan that they created.
What is the 250 crore rupees funding for? How are you going to use it in the scaling up of Snapdeal?
I think number one is people. We will keep investing heavily in our technology. We're very technology focused so that as a consumer, when you come to the site, you should see products and deals which are relevant to you. And finally, we are big believers in investing heavily in building a very strong brand.
But Kunal, tell me one thing, it happens, we've seen in international players as well. Is there a fear of overspending in this kind of business model?
I think the economics of a small business owner works very differently in India versus the West. Because he has high fixed costs here but very low variable costs. Because the cost of a restaurant waiter or a cleaning staff is much lower than than the same in the US. So for a restaurant owner or spa owner in the US, it's very expensive, both from a fixed cost and a variable cost perspective, to give very deep promotions. In India, even after they give 70% off, they are still making money. So the money that we have raised takes us at least 3 to 4 years ahead, right? Compared to the same money if we had raised in the US may last us only 3 months.
Moving ahead is the key. And Kunal and his team will be doing a lot of that as they now expand to international markets across the Asia Pacific. When they do so, one case study they can certainly take notes from is Groupon itself. Groupon, now crazy in India, believes that there are 3 key points startups like Snapdeal in the group shopping space must focus on in order to get their scale up right.
I think fundamental is the quality of deals. Focus a lot more on that than on your marketing, because if you get good deals and if you get good merchants, your marketing will be word of mouth. Number 2 is engage your merchants as much as you engage your customers. And third, unfortunately, because it's competitive, you need to have a backup which accounts for both financial growth for some time as well as investment.
At almost 1,000 crore rupee valuation already and a market share which is almost 80% of the Indian market, there's no doubting Snapdeal's success so far. But just like Groupon did in the past, the next international phase of growth for Snapdeal is key. In keeping costs down and maintaining a high growth rate lie the keys to success in this space. Something Kunal and team are going to no doubt spend countless hours on.
Well, for now, Snapdeal also wants to focus on expanding to international geographies and looking to expand its product deals on the platform. Well, a private equity round and expansion in the Asia-Pacific region is something you can be sure of, and we'll be keeping a close watch. Let's take a break here on the show, but coming up. From group buying to group home buying, yes, group shopping also expands to the real estate space. We bring you the trend.